What's that one product that is completely worth your money?
A good and comfortable chair to your desk. Especially when you plan to sit there a lot for studying or if your job requires you to sit. It will spare you a lot of back pain. The right mattress can completely change your life. Everything in life can be affected by your sleep quality. I'd say start there.
Socks. Despite the expense and the inconvenience of obtaining them, there is nothing that compares to the feeling of wearing warm, dry socks.
An electric tire inflator, for $29.95. It's so convenient to add air to the tires where you live rather than going to gas station air pumps, especially in winter weather.
As a homeowner, I can't say it enough. A wet/dry vacuum.
Good pair of shoes.
A good mattress and pillow.
3 good pairs of scissors. One for clothes, one for paper and one for the kitchen. This saves so much time and aggravation.
What is one small thing that changed your life for the better?
Stopped hanging around negative people. I never realized how much they dragged me down and even affected my self-image till I no longer saw them.
The fuck it adjustment. This homework is hard. Fuck it. Quit drinking soda. Not to be preachy, but if you're bombarded by it in America like I was growing up, you'll see a night and day difference in your health and well-being the minute you quit.
It's a lot harder than it sounds, but be truthful with people. You don't need to embellish your stories, your accomplishments, your jokes, anything. Just be truthful.
Drinking more water.
A quality mattress. You spend 8 hours/day on it. May as well invest in your sleep.
Losing weight, even if it was only 10 kilograms, and eating less sugar and salt.
Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Stopped using methamphetamine.
What are you boycotting?
Work. Update and I was fired.
Facebook. Assuming boycotting means don't use out of principle. I'm not organizing any mass protests or anything.
Kat Von D.
Shell. They haven't even cleaned up the whole 2008 spill, but we forgot about it because of the 2016 spill. Edit, what you/Marjok have said too. I don't buy products with palm oil in it, for example Nutella. Edit, I try.
What is good for only a minute?
Your nose finally being clear after a long cold. You don't really notice it after that, but in that first moment when you blow your nose and it actually breathes clear is just beautiful. The feeling of warm clothes right out of the laundry.
Quenching a raging thirst. Nothing beats that feeling of gulping down cold water, but it quickly turns to the feeling of being bloated. Edit, my first gold, thank you kind stranger. A very good Roman candle. Peeing when you have a UTI. Sweet sweet release then immediate burning agony 5 seconds later.
The feeling after taking a breath from your inhaler, after an asthma attack. You are able to breathe, and relax. And then after a minute, the jitters start, and your heart starts beating too fast.
The feeling of an incoming sneeze. If it doesn't come in that time period, you are just left hanging in there with a weird feeling.
The cold side of a pillow.
Post-orgasm stimulation.
Eating loads of candy as a kid. First you feel like a king, then you feel like you're going to throw up.
You're part of the FBI, how would you wreck the shit out of the Redditors trying to hide a key from you?
By shutting down the mail.
Make sure they receive the wrong key. Let them think they have a chance. Despair is always at its finest when you allow hope to grow, only to strike it down in its final moments.
Wait for them to get the money, then use civil forfeiture to take it back. Then arrest them on trumped-up terrorism charges.
No one said they got a head start hiding it. We're at their door when they hear about it. Search them and their apartment the second they get the key.
Read the other AskReddit thread, obviously.
Ask politely for the key, realize that kindness is the key.
Give a $1 million prize to whoever can find the key.
What was your that explains a lot moment when you met someone's family?
Ever meet a hoarder? Ever meet a hoarder's parents?
Teenagers and young adults, what do you want most from us as parents? And how can we best provide that?
Some consistency with expectations. Don't get mad at me for not doing the dishes if I have never been expected to do them.
Don't instantly get angry at your kids. Listen to their side of the story if they're trying to explain something. Yelling at them won't help. Also, solitude. If your kid needs time to collect his/her thoughts, let him/her have it. That your mistakes aren't genetic. Just because you messed up in your youth does not mean we will. Also, stop being overprotective and being fearful of their decisions about their future. That will only damage any self-esteem they might have.
To please just give us our space. We are trying to learn how to be adults, and the worst way to prepare us for the real world is by constantly hovering over us.
What talent do you wish you had and why?
Time management, and the discipline to stick to it. Charisma. I love to win over people just by smiling at and talking to them. But I hardly ever smile at strangers and I sure as hell don't talk to them. I couldn't be further away from that.
I wish I could draw well. I feel like I see it in my head, but the process of getting it down on paper is hard.
Being able to fall asleep quickly. I've always had problems falling asleep and it can get really frustrating sometimes. I know people that can close their eyes and fall asleep within minutes, and I really wish that was something I could easily do.
I've always wanted to compose music.
Self-promotion and networking. So much of my career depends on it and I can barely talk to people.
Playing the piano. Or any musical instrument, really. But I just love the sound of a piano. Or nickel harpa, fucking Grizzly Hills, Totems of the Timber Mall.
Socializing well with people. I can't count how many times I've made a fool out myself trying too hard to socialize or looked awkward not knowing what to do.
Wish I had a photographic memory. Not being able to remember any details sucks.
Reddit, where is the worst time and place to be flashbanged?
Hall of Mirrors.
In an epilepsy support group meeting.
When you wake up, a flashbang delay wired to your alarm clock would be evil. Full sensory overload just as your groggy self tries to make sense of reality.
Right before the test for your pilot's license.
Probably in a PTSD support group, realistically.
While exiting tunnels during a B-rush.
At an airport after hearing a few dudes say remember no Russian.
While laying in your crib. This actually happened.
At a don't get flashbang competition.
Serious, what's the hardest conversation you've ever had to have?
When my dad told me he had stage 4 lung cancer, and then I had to have the same conversation with my mom a year later. Turns out there was radiation in our old house. Luckily, they are both still fighting.
Telling my parents I was a drug addict and needed help.
Telling my daughter her father had committed suicide.
telling parents of a student that she revealed long-time sexual abuse to me. The abuser was her grandfather.